In this video, we'll show you how we tore down multiple load-bearing walls, opened up this segmented space into what we call the Lamborghini of Kitchens.
From demo to countertops, and even behind the scenes in the shop, you're gonna get to see how we built this dream kitchen.
Now let's get into the video.
So obviously the first thing we did was demo in this kitchen. A huge emphasis for this particular project was to open up the space and make the layout, feel inviting, a lot of natural light. And we had this weird dividing wall that separated the kitchen from the living room. What we ended up doing was we removed kind of this weird pseudo office area and bar area and utilized that space as a dining area. So at the same time we did that, we also created a butler's pantry. So we removed the old pantry to make the kitchen a lot more spacious, and we moved the old kitchen wall up forward and created a butler's pantry that's about 36 inches wide. So it's not a huge area, but the amount of storage that we were able to fit in there is next level. So after that, our electricians and plumbers, they came in to do everything that they needed in order to accommodate the new layout. So for the electricians, it was pretty basic. All we did was relocate what was existing, and then we added some lighting. Pretty much the entire layout changed from a plumbing perspective. So we did have to cut up a lot of the floor and move some of that plumbing. We moved our sink into the island. We moved a bar sink over to the other side. Now that plumbing and electric is done, it's time to get some drywall up. So this is a huge step for everybody. We love to see it. It starts to feel like a real room. You could start to really visualize the project if you have no experience in construction, and that is one thing our clients are able to do. So when they come in now, they see the space, they see it closed up, and it's just super exciting for everybody. We had in the original scope of this project to strip the floors and stain them again with a different color. After we started patching though, our clients really liked the look of the raw floor. So what we ended up doing, which was pretty much the only time we strayed away from the original design in this project, is we ended up just doing a clear coat over the floors, and I think it was probably one of the best decisions we've made, and it's something that we have been complimented both by anybody who's visited, the client, and honestly ourselves and our team. The floors were a pleasant surprise. The actual process of doing the floors in this manner is honestly really, really satisfying. We have some footage obviously, but how this works is when we're patching something so kind of inconsistent, lots of knots, things like that, it was difficult for us to get the exact type of wood. It ended up being hickory, but once we got it matched, we patched everything, and obviously to patch it, we put in our subfloor, and then we install the actual wood with both glue and nails. And then after that, we go ahead and sand once again after the patching, and then we put our clear coat over the top of it. After flooring, then comes our cabinetry. This is where we really start to see the kitchen come together. So our cabinets were provided by Soul Solutions. They are amazing, they do excellent work. And if you wanna learn more about Soul Solutions, they actually just started a YouTube channel themselves. They're partners with us on almost all of our projects, so definitely go check them out. This space has some incredible custom cabinetry from our partners over at Soul Solutions, but the real hero, this vent hood. Let's see how it was made.
Wow, this is insane. But before we talk about how that was made, let's talk about today's sponsor, Ends Pouches. Ever hit that point of the day where you wish you just had a little more energy to keep things moving? That's where Ends comes in. Ends energy pouches are packed with 50 milligrams of caffeine, steady fuel you can build on whether you're swinging a hammer or doing office work like me. And then there are the focus pouches, stacked with nootropics to keep your attention dialed in. I use them in the office when I'm processing change orders, purchase orders, or crunching numbers. So, it turns out Ends has the right pouch for any job. So head on over to endspouches.com and enter code JGB at checkout for 15% off your order. Now, let's see how this incredible vent hood was made.
One of the biggest headaches or biggest stresses of this project was the vent hood. We had the cabinet manufacturers fabricate the shell of the frame prior to us doing any of the other cabinetry. Mid-project, we shipped that frame to our countertop fabricator, DJC Countertops. We had a strict move-in date, and if we were trying to do the work on the fly, it just wouldn't work. So as for the frame, Sergio is gonna tell you a little bit more from his shop about how it was built and how we got this thing done.
They have pieces here, like the side stone is 99 inches tall by 24 inches and 7/8 deep, and it's 2 centimeters thick. And then we have the front slab here that has the curvature at the bottom, which is 86 inches wide by 73 inches tall. Just in stone is gonna be close to 1,000 pounds, if not a little bit over. Like the frame, as you can see, it has a lot of cutouts in it. to try to take out some of the weight. They're individual boxes. See the green outline? That's one box, that's a second box, that's a third box, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So 7 boxes to make that structure. So this is how it looks in real life. It's exactly what the CNC has cut, and then I just put it together. Like I had the easy job of just assembling it. 99 inches tall, about 84 inches wide, 2 feet deep. It weighs a hefty 350 pounds. A perfect cutout here to house the actual vent. So the fan is gonna go inside here and it's gonna be attached to the back and to the front of the unit. Then the stone gets glued on the front, on the sides. It has like a rounded detail here. That's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna go inside as well. The niches and the underneath, the whole assembly is gonna be painted to match the existing cabinetry. Front sides are gonna be in stone. And it's gonna have that nice curvature at the bottom. And with the lighting that the hood has, it's gonna have a really nice effect. Like imagine this is gonna be 3 feet off the ground on the countertop. What is it, a little bit over 10 feet, the ceiling in that space. So I will have in total, I don't know, 30 screws holding this to the 2x6 wall that's in the back. And the structure being done the way it is, it will hold way more than the stone that we're applying on it. Because for this, we used only one machine.
And this
So
is
now,
a machine you taught yourself how to use?
Well, all the machines that are here, I'm self-taught. Like I didn't go to school for cabinetry. Nobody ever showed me how to do none of the stuff that I know how to do. So I would go to the library, literally read books on how to put together cabinet doors or boxes or what kind of wood to use. I know what not to do because I've done it so many times. Some of the pieces that we have in that unit, I just nested them and the computer automatically arranges them in the best way they would fit on the material that I have. And then I print some labels. The piece right now, you see it sits on top of the table of the CNC. It's being held by vacuum. There's a vacuum pump there, a 15 horsepower vacuum pump that sucks air through a 4-inch pipe that's connected in the middle of the table. So now, see I have these cutouts here. I can move them, right, freely. Once I start the vacuum pump, this ain't going anywhere. So that's it. Now that we have the vacuum pump on, the cut plan is loaded, we can just start cutting. Yeah, so in order to do this operation, you need 1, the CNC that does the cutting, 2, the vacuum pump that holds the pieces onto the table of the CNC, 3, the dust collection to be able to extract some of the dust that's being produced by the router bit, and 4, it's the compressor, because the whole machinery, the CNC especially, requires air to operate in changing the tools, and also it has like self-lubrication on all the moving parts. So that's called the lead screw.
The lead screw?
Yeah, so that's the lead screw that moves it on the right to left, and then you have 2 lead screws at the bottom that move the whole gantry back and forth. And then there's another lead screw that moves the actual router bit up and down.
Right in the middle there.
Yeah, and everything is being actuated by stepper motors, stepper electric motor. Like there's a motor right there. The lead screw at the bottom has motors in the back, and the lead screw in the middle has a motor inside of the gantry. So it electronically knows, or it's being electronically powered to go right or left, depending on what the program tells it. And it's precise to the 10,000th of an inch. So this is what it's using to cut actually. So there's no blades on this, it's just router bits. All of them are router bits, different sizes.
So now that Sergio is completed with the frame, Duval from DJC Countertops is gonna pick that frame up, deliver it to his shop, and plan his cuts around it. So that way we don't have any hiccups when we take it all to the site.
This is the first slab we're gonna start cutting. One half of this been hooked, and then one side panel with the grain match is gonna come out of one slab. You can't play around, you know. But this is more efficient, are better. And look, this is the mistakes that come in the slabs that we gotta watch out for. You know, these types of stuff we can fix them. Good thing in marble we fix them. we're really maxed out with this test. The software definitely does help with pointing out, the grain match, make sure what looks good. There was 3 different options, and at the end of the day, this was the best one. Yeah, we definitely have to look at grain match, so we gotta make sure everything comes out great, especially on a piece like this.
Would you consider yourself an artist then?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why this trade?
it's more than just countertops, it's more art. I like that type of stuff. Once you see it installed, that's when it's satisfying. This is cool, is watching it get done, but once it's up the side.
So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Take a look at how Duval installs this vent hood.
Okay, so for the first 2 days, the guys have been installing the more straightforward pieces of this kitchen. I don't want to say easy. These are all the flat portions of the countertops, the islands, the peninsulas, the waterfall edges. We have some of the curves for the corbels around the vent hood. Again, not easy, but a little more straightforward compared to this monumental install of the vent hood. So all of this stuff is cut precision off-site, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna lay out exactly when we're up there. So what you can see right now is the guys are prepping the stone for the install. They put a bracket on the bottom, and this is literally to hold the weight of this stone, that when they glue it up there, there's a bracket instead of it falling down onto the fragile items below, countertops and range, we have this brace across. So they apply glue, this is a high strength glue, all on the vent hood surround. And now they have to lift this 300-pound stone. You can see the guys struggling. This has to be lifted with precision, and it has to be stuck on basically perfectly. They have to nail this in pretty much one shot. And then what they're gonna do is, once it's stuck on, they're gonna put some other braces that are gonna hold the bottom of that stone down to the cross brace that they have below. And honestly, Duval and the crew are crushing it. Look how wild it is. If this thing falls, not only could they get hurt, but they have all of this expensive stuff, a finished floor, finished countertop, and a range right below them. Those weird angled cuts, that is part of the miter. That is half of the side. But what happens, there's a little micro gap. It's about 1/8 of an inch at every seam that meets. So you can see the guys are putting an epoxy down that whole seam. They're gonna actually use different colored epoxy to color each one of those sections so that it looks completely uniform. This is completely art. This is what starts separating the good countertop guys from the bad. Now, left side down, we are on to the right side. So you can see them making some final cuts, doing a little grinding, just kind of perfecting this right side. They go through all of this. Remember, this is already pre-cut in the shop. Our degree of error is so minimal. And they glue everything up just like the other side, and they go to install it. They get it all the way up there and onto the vent hood surround, and what happens? It's not exact. If this is off even 1/8 of an inch, this is catastrophic. The money that our client is spending, the expectations that we have, perfection is the only option. As anyone would do in this situation, you pull it back down, you make the corrections, and then you get it back up. So they have to pull this stone off, scrape off all the glue that is on the vent hood surround, and get ready to reinstall this puppy. This is the 3rd time. They are lifting a cumulative of 900 pounds at this point. They've done the first 300, the first time on the second side, 300 pounds, and now the next 300. And you can see these guys are struggling. This is so awkward. This isn't just like pressing a weight. This is an awkward material. They have to hold it up there high. The guys are working their ass off, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate and love them for day in and day out breaking their backs for us. But watch them. They get this dang thing in. They crush it. They made the adjustments they needed. It is perfect. They fit it. It's up there. Get the bracing in. seam everything at the corners with the epoxy, just like we talked about. And now we are looking great. This is exactly what we set out to do. And of course, we are gonna finish at knocking this baby out of the park. So the last thing you're gonna see is this is a seam machine. Basically, we call it the seamer. Each side is a different suction cup, and you put each side on, and then it has a pump, and it's sucking air out, which is pushing both of those sides together. So these sides are being squeezed together so that seam becomes next to nothing. So that area that they have to epoxy is just literally like a sliver. This machine helps greatly because you can only do so much by hand. All right, y'all, you've seen how we put this kitchen together piece by piece from start to finish. We have some team members that haven't even set foot on this site before. Let's get their reactions. Come on in.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like everyone's immediately drawn to that vent hood, man. That's insane.
I think it's beautiful, and I think I would like to move in as soon as possible.
Probably this detail right here. I think this is awesome. How it's curved like that. You don't really, I've never seen that out of any project I've been on.
All right, guys, the Lamborghini of Kitchens. I feel it lives up to the name. Let us know in the comments below what you think. I do want to give a special shout out to Joe here. He was the project manager on this project. I swear to God, I must have set foot on this site maybe 5 times.
Yeah, which is how I know that I'm doing somewhat of a good job. We're not getting a ton of complaints, but I mean, this was something that was extremely fulfilling. This is by far the most detailed project I've done to date. You know, it's not the biggest, but it is for sure the most detailed, delicate, and so it was a really fun one. I spent, you know, the last 6 months of my life here, and it was worth it to see this.
You crushed it, dude. And guys, I just want to thank each and every one of you for watching week in and week out. We are really growing the fan base. Some of y'all are die-hard from all over the world. I can't tell you how much that means to us. We are going to keep cranking out some awesome stuff, so stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.